Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Viewers Go Scam Baiting. Another bait submitted by a viewer. This time it's a Forex scam. You're going to get 2 in a row, 2 consecutive Fridays, because I had one as well. My viewer said, "So, I was contacted by Theodore Bowen, a Forex expert with curiously few friends, but very keen on making a random internet woman, me, rich. What's interesting about this scam is it started out as a Forex scam. Then, when I demanded he left me a voice message, he turned from an inept Forex scammer to an even more inept romance scammer. He sent me a message on Facebook Messenger," said my viewer. "Immediately, I was struck by his mastery of the English language. I'm Theodore Bowen from California, but I base here in London," he said. "I was only going through the list of people that were suggested that I might share similar interest. I found your profile among them and texted you. I hope you don't mind." "Hey," replied my viewer, "I'm not very well and off to bed. Maybe speak tomorrow." "All right, dearie," he said. "Talk to you tomorrow." "Hello again," said my viewer. "Hi, my dear. How are you feeling today?" "Better, thanks," she said. "Could you not call me dear? Makes you sound like an old granny," she said. "Sorry? How do you mean?" "You call me dear and dearie. Makes you sound like a very old lady. Anyway, are you in the USA?" "I'm sorry about that," he said. "I'm Theodore Bowen from California, but I base here in London. So what do I call you?" "Call me Jana," she said. "It's my nickname." "Okay, Jana," he said. "Where do you live in London?" she asked. To which our man replied, "Manchester." Manchester's not in London," said my viewer. "Tower Bridge. That's where base," he said. "Are you saying you actually live on Tower Bridge?" asked my viewer. "Yes," he said. "Sounds very drafty," said my viewer. "I travel oftentimes for work," he tried. "Make up your mind," said my viewer. "You said you were from California but based in London, then Manchester, then Tower Bridge." "LOL," he said. "You're getting it twisted, Jana," he said. I'm not surprised. "Excuse me," she said. "Why are you lying over something so basic as where you live?" "I'm not lying. You just don't get it the way I meant it. Okay? Listen up." "I'm listening," said my viewer. "I'm from South Los Angeles, California, but I base here in London. Tower Bridge, precisely. But most times I travel to Manchester for business province. Right now I'm in Manchester, even though I base in London. I hope you're following this, guys." "Manchester is great, isn't it?" said my viewer. "Whereabouts?" "How do you mean?" he asked. "Whereabouts in Manchester?" Question mark, he said. "Sigh," replied my viewer. "You say that you travel to Manchester for business. I just wondered, where in Manchester?" "Yeah," he said. "I'm a professional Forex trader and travelling the globe, finding opportunities in trend following and scalping. My goal is to trade with systems that make me consistent profits while increasing my risk management knowledge each day." Note, added my viewer, the word scalping. I was going to make a sarcastic comment about not realising that Forex trading involved whipping off your enemy's scalp as a token, but apparently Forex scalping is about trading currencies with only a brief holding time. In any case, Theodore had obviously copied and pasted his response from a Forex website. I couldn't think of anything else to say, but "Wow!" replied my viewer. "All right," he said. "It's good to know you. This is what I do when I'm less busy, talking to friends on about firm worth trade investment platform which makes me earn great weekly income. All of us needs such opportunity. I'd like to tell you about it." "Do you have to?" replied my viewer. "Can I ask you," he said, "do you keep your options open to looking at other investments or business opportunities outside your current activities?" "I've no idea what you're talking about," said my viewer. "I can educate you more about it," he tried. "Forex trading is basically the buying of a commodity and trading it in a trade platform. We're an expert who will guide you on how to trade directly with this platform and get a maximum profit at a high rate. Then you will earn a certain profit every 72 hours. "What are the risks?" asked my viewer. "Sorry for the delays. I was on to some other clients." "There wasn't a delay," said my viewer. "What are the risks?" "To be honestly speaking, I have to bring to your notice that there are risks involved in trading all assets, but we work on risk management by installing some extra powerful signals generated by the combination of Signals Blue and Crypto Signals Guru, which are the best rated cryptocurrency signals. The combination of both signals helps generate massive profits and reduces trade loss to the barest minimum. Can I just interject here myself? We've suddenly gone from Forex to crypto trading. Of course, in scam land, the scammers don't know the difference. My viewer continued, if there's a high return, there's always a concurrent risk. For the third time, what exactly are the risks? It's a simple way anyone can make money off the cryptocurrency market with our risk management service, where there will be an extra signal that reduces your trade risk and also makes the cryptocurrency market 95% accurate of earning approximately 5 times your startup capital within a very short period. I'll give you the steps on how to get started as we proceed with the conversation. So, said my viewer, I've searched for you, as in Theodore Bowen Forex Trading, and you don't have a website. All I've found is this, which was somebody's profile on LinkedIn. Our man gave my viewer a link to his fake investment website. Click on the link sent above to create a live trading account for yourself and send me a screenshot when you're done. I'll help you to trade. Moreover, you'll be able to access your account whenever you want to, and also monitor all that takes place in your live trading account so you can gain more knowledge. Why is your website called Blistra Ops? Said my viewer. It sounds like a drunk person trying to pronounce a foreign city. A man said some question marks. So, said my viewer, I looked up the website, and it was obviously fake. I checked the address, which was in South East 1, that's in London, and turned out to be the Africa Centre. We've had that before, ladies and gentlemen. I then rang the landline given, and heard nothing but silence. I particularly liked the Shakespearean words of wisdom at the top of the site. Let us introduce our specialists who struggle for our common goals to be independent in common life. I looked up the website, she said. It's in South East 1. No sign of Bliss Tray Ops or whatever it's called, just the Africa Centre. Nobody answered the phone, and I checked the team, which doesn't mention anyone called Theodore Bowen. Have they fired you, or do they just hate you? I don't understand, said our man. In the About Us section, Bliss Trip Trops, or whatever it's called, said my viewer. You're not on the team. That's intriguing, he said. You may have made the wrong inquiries. You sent me the link, she said. I merely followed it. I'll clarify that anyways, he said. You could send a voice message to explain, said my viewer. And so he sent her this short voice message.
From the indication right here, you could see that the company is located right here in London. And I just spotted I'm trying to make a clue.
Why don't you tell me who you really are, she said, because you're clearly not the white guy in his 20s in the photo. Knowledge, he said, is partly, they say. Knowledge, replied my viewer, is partly being able to put together a coherent sentence. Who are you? I'm not pretending, not at all, he said. I mean, why should I do that? I'm purely a Californian, and that's undebatable. I least expected you to argue over this. Maybe you can do random interviews on people to know their roots. I was ignoring him at this point, said my viewer. I bet if you go by their elocution, you'll get it very phased. What's you blithering on about, she said, and why are you making such a burk of yourself, pretending to be a Forex trader? To which our man replied, why is it hard for you to believe the fact that I'm not who you presume me to be? I'm a trader like I told you. If you check on my profile, you'll get a lot of compliments from different individuals on the efficiency of my work. You're like a toddler covered in chocolate, said my viewer, who goes, it wasn't me who ate the chocolate cake. I honestly have no reason to lie to you, Jane, he said. I've had enough of this nonsense, said my viewer. I'd like to know you more, he cried. Then tell me your real name, said my viewer. Theodore, he said. You're lying. I'm not a liar, Jana. I'm not, and I won't beg you to believe that. Bye-bye, dimwit scammer, she said. All right, Jana, I'm sorry. Let's talk. There's no point, she said. How do you mean? How many times? She said. You lied from the beginning. You don't live on Tower Bridge, or Manchester, or London. You know as much about Forex trading as I know about nuclear fission. You're not the man in the photo. You have a West African accent, and you're a boring little twit. At this point, continued my viewer, my partner rang, and I had a nice chat with him, while Theodore rambled on, suddenly deciding he was going to try and be a rubbish romance scammer, as well as a rubbish Forex trader. You have to believe me, he said. OK, tell me more about yourself. I think you're a lovable person. Are you there? Talk to me. I decided, said my viewer, I was going to give getting his real name one more go, with some help from the Denise Serafina Flora countdown. And so my viewer asked him, what is your real name? Anne Bowen, he said. Please believe me. You really want to know me? Bored, she said. Leave me alone. I won't. Because I'm already falling for you, Jonah. Please don't leave me. You have 10 seconds to tell me your real name, said my viewer, starting one of those infamous counts of 10. Wait, he said, when she got to 6. Wait! Let me talk! I'm falling for a total stranger. She got to 4. I said wait! What's your real name? She asked. You really want to know me? He tried. No, said my viewer. I just want to know your real name. If I tell you my real name, you have to promise me something, he said. Why, said my viewer, is your name something embarrassing, like Abiola's Scam Bucket? You have no idea how many times it took me to record this next bit, guys. Or Oberlesh Mini Member. I insist. You'll have to promise something, he said. You insist? You insist, said my viewer. You've been a lying, scamming little gobshite, and you insist? Get stuffed. Don't be dogmatic, my Jaina, he said. I'm not your Jaina, and this is absolutely your last chance to tell me the truth about your name. Why? She got down to 2. OK, stop. I'll talk, he said. 1. I love you. I must say this. Am Eugene Great. My viewer burst out laughing. So, he said, are you leaving me now, Jaina? Thanks for giving me a good laugh, she said. Consider yourself blocked, you utter tool. I was giggling so hard, she said, I couldn't find the blocking mechanism on Facebook Messenger, so Eugene the Great managed to get in a few more bleatings. Don't do that. I'm a human like yourself, regardless of our route. At this point, said my viewer, he was cut off, and that was the end of Theodore Bowen, or Eugene Great. What I want to say to your viewers is that from the last little bit of nonsense, it's clear that scammers and abusers have a lot in common in their creepy grooming techniques. I've known men and women who arrogantly ignore what you want. In fact, they don't care what you want, because abusers don't see you as a fully functioning adult, more a repository for their needs. They steamroller over objections and try to gaslight and manipulate. They also ignore the word no and push and push. We need to keep telling our loved ones that if anyone ever starts a sentence with, if you loved me, you would, run for the hills. Very wise words of advice from my viewer there. I'd like to thank this viewer for her contribution to Viewers Go Scam Baiting. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Please like it. Please share it. Please comment down below. Please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you again in another video.